Hi folks, it's Sid here from Border Archery. I'd like to try and cover why low grips are a bad thing. Okay, let's see if I can challenge this one, especially for the likes of barebow string walking. Okay, so the top of the grip never really moves its position. Okay, so with a high grip, okay, your hand goes in at a high angle and your bone structure runs over the top. So let's see if I can show you. So with a higher grip, okay, the top bone of your arm runs higher in your hand. Whereas if you run a flat low grip, which is quite hard to do on a right there, your bone is lower to the web of your thumb and forefinger. Okay, see that height distance? Okay, yeah. So now let me show you the impact of running a low grip. Either the grip is down on the bow or low on the angle. Okay, there's two ways of getting a low grip. Okay, one is if your hand is up there, then the pressure runs through, say, the middle of your hand. If your hand's low, then you run through the middle of your hand, so the pressure can be down here somewhere. Okay, so you get various locations where you can apply the pressure on the grip based on the angle that you hold your hand. Put the grip down the bow and you end up with lower pressure again. Okay, so let's see if we can cover what happens here. So what I'll try and do is, you'll not be able to see it, but there's a bit of tape there, but if I pull from square, right, so there, let's see, you might not see it too well in the video, this could get awkward, right? So if I pull the bow back to about there, the string's coming off the recurve at the bottom and it's off at the top, so limb timing's okay. Yeah? Right. So if I then run with a low grip, okay, so if I pull from down here, the bottom limb opens up, there it's open, but the top still has some string wrap on it, right? That's because you've over pulled the bottom limb. It's got more energy in it, it's working harder. Okay? So let's go back to the middle again where everything's back in timing, and let's run with a deep crawl. Bottom limb's off, top limb's still got a wrap on it. Okay, so let's double the limb coming off the bottom, right? So off the bottom, lots of wrap, double wrap on the top. Okay, try it for yourself. Pull the bow until the, let's see, till the string is just lifting off the recurve about there. All right, see, that's too far, so about there, right, where the string is just lifting off the limb face. I use the yoke, the Y, the join on the string. Okay, so pull it back, have a look up, have a look down, and see what's happening. Okay, so the next problem with having an overpowered limb is it wants to kick through on the shot, which means you need a lot of mass on the bottom. A lot of mass on the bottom means that when you're shooting downhill, the bow will pendulum. When you're shooting uphill, it'll pendulum. Again, that changes your tiller requirements. But if the bottom limb is over pulled because you've got a low grip or a grip pressed low in the riser, then you're going to overwork the bottom limb. And if you've got a crawl, again, you're going to overwork the bottom limb. Right? Now, if you overwork the bottom limb, as the limb comes through, as the limb passes closure first, then what will happen is it'll pull the knocking point down. You can just see there's a mark there, right? So if I push the limb through, it pulls the knocking point down. Okay, what I'm doing is that. Okay, so it pulls the limb through, and what will happen is that the arrow will come out slightly down, which means you'll need to start with a slightly higher knocking point. Now, the advantage to the slightly higher knocking point is that if you're pulling from the bottom, you're now pulling from the upper half, and the bow starts to tilt back. The bow starts to do funny things, but you're closer to getting limb timing because you get your knock running high. Whereas if you ran with a higher grip, and you ran with your hand higher into the throat of the grip. You'll see some archers have even got their knuckle overhanging the shelf because they're nicely high on the bow. Means that when you pull the bow back, it doesn't really get badly affected as bad with a crawl. All right, so that's why low grips are not the best for barebow, and I'd like to hear your feedback because that one could be controversial in some circles. Let's see what you've got to say. I disagree with low grips. I've been saying it for a long time. There was a culture in some countries where low grips are the way forward, and nobody can tell me why you require a low grip for barebow in particular. Tell me why. All right, thanks for watching.